So yeah, so firstly, just finding a comfortably seated position, however you want to sit. And then I'm going to introduce you to the concept of Nadi Shodana or Nadi Shodana. I'm not quite sure how they pronounce it, but so you bring your left or right hand, whatever's more comfortable. You normally traditionally use your right hand, and you stick out your thumb and your little finger. And then you begin by placing your right thumb on your right nostril, and you inhale from your left nostril. And then you switch as you exhale through your right nostril. And then you inhale through your right nostril. And then you switch and you exhale through your left nostril. So you're always using your fingers to switch your breathing in from one nostril, out through the other nostril. And then you keep repeating. So as you inhale up through your left, and then exhale out through the right. And then inhale up through the right. And exhale to the left. So continuing this in your own rhythm and your own time. And if you feel that one nostril is a little bit blocked, trying not to force it too much, but you usually do have one nostril that's working more freely than the other at any one time. So just going through a few rounds of this. And closing your eyes if you like. And just focusing, really focusing on the whole sensation of your breath. Coming in through one nostril and out through the other. And just noticing what's going on in the rest of your body as you're doing this. Also noticing which nostril is freer than the other, or if they're about the same. And so just a few more rounds. And then ending once you've exhaled through your left nostril. So the practice of Nadi Shodana is to balance your left and right side. So the idea is that as you're breathing very intentionally through your left and then through your right and through your left and through your right, you'll notice at the beginning that one nostril will be freer than the other. And the left and the right side are linked to the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system, which kind of regulate whether you're being active in your day and you're actively trying to do things and bring energy to whatever movement you're doing. That's the sympathetic nervous system. Your parasympathetic nervous system is everything that's the digestion and everything that kind of happens in your body naturally. So you're trying to balance these two things out. And normally you'll find, if you do it for long enough, that if you're feeling really hyperactive, you're then feeling calmer, or if you're feeling really lethargic, you start to feel a little bit more energetic. So that's just a practice to take with you. But so now let's begin the movement, since we're starting a little bit late. So coming onto your feet, standing onto the top of your mat, bringing your toes together and heels apart. Finding the bend in your knees, and firstly just spreading your toes up onto the floor. So spreading the toes and then rocking all the way back onto your heels until you find the middle point and the grounding center of your feet. And bending your knees and focusing up from your feet, up through your legs, tilting your pelvis into the center, so not too far forward, not too far back. And then bring your belly button up and towards your spine and rolling your shoulders back, bringing your chin parallel to the floor and just shaking your head a little bit whilst you find that position so that you're really relaxing also the top of your body down. And then just for a moment, closing your eyes, and we're going to do the Nadi Shodana here as well. So bringing your right hand up to your nostril and then going in through the left, out through the right, then in through the right, out through the left. And we're just going to do this a couple of times. So grounding as we're breathing. So bringing your inhale in and out through the right, in through the right, and out through the left. And again, a couple more times, in through the left, out through the right, in through the right, and out through the left. And then one more time in your own rhythm. And grounding into your feet. And out again. And as you come to your exhaling through the left, dropping your hand down and just feeling that connection with your breath, your body, your feet. And then bending the knees slightly, and as you inhale, bring your arms up towards the ceiling. And exhale, folding down, bending the knees. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, folding all the way down. Inhale, hands come forward. Exhale, legs come back. Inhaling to plank. And then knees, chest and chin coming down. Bring the legs down. Forearms come forward. Inhale, rolling the shoulders back, looking up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands underneath the shoulders, tucking the toes under, coming onto your knees. And as you exhale, pushing up into your downward dog, bending your knees, pushing your hips up towards the ceiling. First of all, opening up the fingers and bringing the shoulder blades apart from one another. And then, just because it's the first one, gently bringing one heel and the other heel towards the ground as you start to stretch the back of your legs. Nice deep breath, staying connected with this breathing. And then inhale, looking towards the hands and stepping, walking or jumping your feet forward, bending your knees. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, folding down. And then inhale, bent knees, straight spine. Then coming up with your arms all the way up towards the ceiling. And exhale, bring the hands down. Bending the knees a little bit. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, coming forward, making your movements really dramatic today. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, hands come forward. Exhale, feet come back. Inhaling to plank. And then exhale, knees, chest and chin all the way down. Inhale, hands come forward. And as you inhale and exhale a couple of times, starting with your back bend, rolling back your shoulders, looking up. Exhale, bring your hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, coming onto the knees and then pushing up into your downward dog. Nice deep breaths. Keeping it very simple, but taking care with the movements and your breath. So trying to bring your breathing into each movement that you do, even if it's just patting your feet towards the floor. So you can do that with an inhale, with an exhale. And then on the next inhale, looking towards the hand, and then walk, step, or jump your feet forward. And then bending the knees. Inhale, lifting forward. Exhale, folding down. Bending the knees straight back, following your hands, coming up all the way towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring your arms down. And then one more time. Inhale, bring your hands up. Exhale, dramatically folding forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, hands come forward. Exhale, legs come back. Walk, step, or jump. Inhale to plank. Exhale, knees, chest and chin coming down. And then inhale, bring hands forward. Rolling up into your upward dog. Exhale, down. Inhale, coming up onto the knees and then up onto your feet. Nice deep breath, stretching out into your downward dog. Stay moving with your breath. And then from here, inhaling, looking towards the hands, and then taking the right foot up towards the ceiling, then bending the knee, bring it in towards your chest, and placing your foot down wherever it goes. So if your foot doesn't come quite close to your hands, then wiggling it forward, and then placing your back heel on the floor, so left heel down on the floor, and right foot flat on the ground, and then inhale, coming up, making sure, as always, that your knee doesn't come past your ankle, and then bringing the arms up towards the ceiling. Nice deep breaths. So we're going to take 3 to 4 deep breaths here, looking up towards the ceiling, opening up the shoulders. And then on your next inhale, opening up to the side, and exhale, bring the hands down. So you're keeping your feet where they are, but you've peeled yourself open out to the side, and then looking down your right hand, looking fierce in your next warrior position. So we've gone from the warrior 1 to the warrior 2. And then inhale, coming up with the feet, turning your right foot and stepping your left foot round. So left foot comes forward, right foot comes in, arms out straight, and again, looking fierce, coming down, looking down your left hand, staying with the breath. Nice deep breathing. And then turning, you can bring your hands down as you make sure that your feet are in the right position. So left foot forward, right foot in, bringing the hips out to the side, and then inhale, bring that hands up. And exactly the same as on the other side. Looking up towards the ceiling, bending the front knee, back leg is straight. Nice deep breaths. And then exhale, bring the hands down on this side, and then lifting up from your foot, using your core, bringing your foot down, and then inhaling back to plank, and then again, knees, chest, and chin down, coming all the way down to the floor, bring your forearms forward, inhale, lifting up, and exhale, coming down, hands on the shoulders, inhale onto the knees, and then pushing up onto your feet, into your downward dog. Nice deep breaths. And making sure that you're spreading your fingers wide and pulling your shoulder blades a little bit apart from one another, so it's relief for your lower and middle back for the day you're upside down. Nice deep breaths. And then like we did before, lifting the right foot up, then bending the knee, bring the knee towards your chest, and then placing your foot down. If you're wiggling your foot forward slightly, and then turning the right foot out, the left foot out, coming up, and then just because now I'm in the wrong direction, I'm going to turn around. So my foot is forward, and my left foot is back. I'm going to square the hips forward again to the side, bring the arms out, and then coming into triangle pose, so reaching out to the right as far as you can, coming down towards your left leg, twisting from the hips up through the shoulders, neck, and head, and looking either forward or looking up towards the ceiling. Nice deep breaths. So remembering that the intention of the day is also to be using the core, so thinking about the muscles around your belly button and trying to squeeze them in to give you more stability as you're here in this funny sideways position. Nice deep breaths. And then exhale, looking down. Inhale, bending the knee, coming up. Change the feet. So bring your left foot forward, right foot comes in. Squaring the hips, arms come out. And then reaching over to the left, coming down. And twist from the hips through the spine, shoulders, neck, and head, looking forward or looking up. Nice deep breaths. And again, engage in your core. So bring the belly button in towards the spine as much as you can. But still leaving room to breathe. And one more deep breath here. And then exhale, looking down, bending the knee. Inhale, coming up. And stepping or jumping back into the center. Have a little wiggle. We've done a lot of straight edge postures, so you might want to wiggle yourself a little bit out of that shape. And then coming back to the front of your mat, bring your toes together, heels slightly apart. And inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, folding down, bending the knees. Inhale, lengthening forward. Exhale, folding all the way down. Inhale, bring the hands forward. Exhale, bring the legs back. And this time, as we come into plank, we're going to try and come down in one piece. So we're coming from here down, bring the elbows in towards you, and very, very slowly lowering yourself all the way down to the floor. And then inhale, bring the hands forward. And nice and slowly and gently taking your time in your upward dog. So you can start from here and start to lift up the elbows off the ground. Or if you're feeling a little bit more stretchy in your upper back, you can bring your hands a little bit further back and start to lift more of your spine off the floor. And looking up, or I should say your chest off the floor. And inhale, looking up towards the ceiling. But really take your time with it. Being gentle with your neck. So remember, you're almost trying to stretch your spine. And just taking a few breaths here. And then exhale, coming all the way down. And then bring your hands under your shoulders and inhale onto the knees. Bring the knees out to the sides of your mat. And then placing your hips, hips to the heels, heels to the hips. And stretching the hands out forward. Bring your neck and head down to the floor, relaxing down to the floor. And just taking a few breaths here, stretching out the spine. And then inhaling, slowly coming back up and rolling over to seated. So coming onto your box and bringing your legs out to the side. So you're aiming for more or less 90 degrees. It doesn't have to be more. It's okay if it's less. And then coming forward. So lifting up through the hips and spine. And then very gently coming forward first with your hands, remembering that you're trying to fold yourself over a little bit like a book. So you're not rounding your spine and coming forward, you're really coming forward with your belly and your chest and your chin. Bending your knees if you feel that you need to, and just taking a few breaths. You're going to stay a little bit longer than normal. And just really allowing yourself to come into the place where your body wants to go after it gets over that initial shock of, oh my God, what are we doing? So just allowing yourself to go into the shape that your body's happy with. So breathing. As a general rule, always inhaling, reaching up, and then exhaling, folding down. Close your eyes if you want, and just take a few more breaths here. And usually find that there's a real initial resistance, and then as you go down a little bit further, your muscles tend to start to relax. So that if you stay here for a lot longer, you'll probably end up going a lot further. But it's just, we were trying to just get over that initial resistance to get to a place where it feels a little bit more relaxed to be. And then inhale, pushing up with your arms. And then staying where we are, coming back onto just behind the sitting bones, taking hold of the shins first of all, and then taking hold of the feet, either from the outside of the feet or taking hold of the big toes, watching that you've got a bit of space behind you in case you roll, and then starting to bring the legs out. You can bring your feet just over in front of you or taking your feet out to the sides, whatever feels more comfortable, but again, engaging the core. So the main thing is that you're using your core, your hands and your knees are sort of extra. So you really want to think about those muscles all the way around your belly button and finding a place where that feels kind of okay. Your legs don't need to be straight. And it's fine if you end up rolling, but looking up towards the ceiling once you find a place where you feel comfortable. Nice deep breaths. Excellent. And then as you exhale, cross your shins over and then bring your hands down to your hips and trying not to use your legs, lifting yourself up just with your hands and then tucking the toes under and rolling forward or coming forward onto all fours. And then again, bring the legs back and coming into plank. And like we did before, if that was comfortable for you, then bending the elbows and coming forward, straight all the way down. And then inhale, placing your hands a little forward, rolling the shoulders back, looking up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, place your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, coming onto the knees and onto the toes and coming up. In your downward dog, stretching out the back of your legs and your arms and your spine and just about everything else. Nice deep breath, spreading your fingers wide on the mat or on the floor. And breathing. And then inhale, bring your knees down to the floor and either crossing your shins and rolling back. We're just coming back into seated. And again, coming back a little bit more into the middle of your mat so you have space to roll behind you. Finding the sit bones like we did before and bring the feet up off the ground. This time, we're going to go into boat pose or Navasana. So we're going to start off small, so you can bring your hands underneath your legs and start to bring your feet up to about eye height. And again, the main thing is to engage the core. So rolling the shoulders back, looking up. That old trick of sort of fake it till you make it here. So you have to more imagine what you want to achieve before it happens. So looking up towards the ceiling. And again, firstly, just playing with this balance. So taking your hands away a little bit from your legs and finding where is kind of straight for you. And breathing. Nice deep breaths. And then bring the feet down. So it takes a little bit of readjustment each time. So you're using the muscles of the back, the abdomen, and also the thighs, because that also helps to bring your legs up. And then coming back onto the sit bones. And this time, bringing your legs a little bit straighter. Might be a bit wobbly. It's quite wobbly for me today as well. Looking up towards the ceiling. Breathing, and then starting to take your hands away from your legs. See what happens. Nice deep breath, looking up. And across the shins. And again, bring your hands down to your hips and lifting yourself up. Take a little breather. We can do it one more time. So again, finding your sit bones, rocking back a little bit behind your sit bones. Starting to straighten out the legs. Finding a place that feels comfortable. Then really engaging your core and your back. And slowly taking your hands away, looking up. Breathing. Nice deep breaths. Whoop, wobbly. And cross the shins. Inhale, lifting up the hips. And then exhale, rolling or rocking forward into all fours. We're going to do one more vinyasa. So again, coming into plank. And because we're focusing on the core today, slowly coming down all in one piece. And then inhale, rolling up. It should feel quite nice because it's the opposite of what we've been doing. And then coming back, hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, come onto your knees and then pushing up into your down dog. Maybe bringing the down dog a little bit wider, so bring your feet out to the sides of the mat, hands out to the sides, and really stretching out. Nice deep breaths. And then inhale, coming onto the knees and coming back into seated. And again, bring your feet forward. And we're going to actually repeat what we did before to see if it feels different. So bring your feet out to the sides and finding your middle place, then lifting up from your hips and lifting your spine up and bringing your hands down and coming forward and seeing if it feels any different. Or maybe it feels exactly the same as it did before. Then staying here, a few more breaths, and again, just breaking through that resistance. So basically just allowing your body to relax a little bit more into this position. Following with your breath, but also maybe closing your eyes and just trying to find that position that feels more or less comfortable. Nice deep breaths. And then inhale, slowly coming back up. Bring the knees in and then rolling back onto the mat. Rolling all the way down to your spine. And then again, just hugging your knees into your chest and gently just rolling from side to side, or even better, tracing little circles with your lower back. First in one direction and then in the other direction. Just really feeling your whole spine on the floor. And then we're going to do a gentle twist, but slightly different to the ones we've done before. So bring your feet down onto the floor. And then firstly, bring your left leg down. Bring your hands out to the side. So hands about shoulder height. And then drawing your right knee up and over your left side. And then gently twisting your neck and upper body over to the right. So again, finding a position that feels comfortable for you, and then trying to relax and release into it, allowing gravity to do the rest of the work for you. You might find that this is quite stiff on your upper body, but probably exactly the direction that it needs to go in if it's feeling stiff. And then inhale, bring that right leg back up towards the center. And then dropping the right leg down, bring the left leg up. And as you exhale, drawing your left leg over to your right. And then stretching your upper body over to the left. Finding a place that feels comfortable. Again, one side might feel tighter than the other. And there might be some cracks of the back, that's also okay. And then just releasing into the floor as much as you can, twisting over to the other way. Allowing gravity to do the work. And releasing with your breath. And then inhale, bring that left leg back up to the middle. And drawing your right leg in, and again, just hugging your knees into your chest and just very gently rocking from side to side, feeling the change, the difference in your hips and your back. And if one side is still feeling a little different from the other, that's also okay. And then bringing your feet down on the floor, and we're going to go up into our bridge position. So bringing your heels closer to your hips, and then tucking your shoulder blades slightly underneath you, bringing your hands over to your feet or interlaced together or just to the floor. And then as you inhale, peeling the spine up towards the ceiling, pushing your hips up towards the ceiling and keeping the knees as parallel as you can. It's always a bit of a funny view. Nice deep breaths as you push your hips up towards the ceiling as much as you can. So you shouldn't feel any weight really in your neck. It should be on your shoulders and on the back of your head, but not on your neck. And then slowly, as you exhale, rolling your spine back down towards the ground. Just a couple of breaths here. You can also bring your knees into your chest if that feels comfortable, or just keep your feet where they are, and you can bring your knees together. And just take a little rest here for a moment. We're going to do it one more time. So when you're ready on your next inhale, putting everything into position, so making sure that you've got good contact with the floor with your shoulders, and then pushing your hips up towards the ceiling, keeping your hips square and your knees square, and nice deep breaths as you push your hips and your torso up towards the ceiling. Feel a little bit of a burn in your thighs maybe. And exhale, slowly rolling the spine all the way back down to the ground. And again, bring the knees into the chest and just have a little gentle rock from side to side. And then coming in towards the closing sequence. So again, just making sure that you've got space to put your feet behind you. So because I've migrated to the end of my mat, so rolling the feet up and over your head. And then placing your hands on your back and very gently bringing your feet up towards the ceiling into your candlestick posture. So as always, not moving your neck when you're up here, looking up towards the feet or the ceiling or the sky, and taking, this time we're going to do 8 to 10 of our own deep breaths. And then once you finish your deep breaths, bring your feet back up and over your head as you bring your hands, either keeping them on your spine or onto the floor, and then bring your knees on or near your forehead. And again, 4 to 5 of your own deep breaths. And slowly, using your hands to stop you, bring your spine all the way back down to the floor, keeping your legs as straight as you can, bringing your legs back down to the floor again, using the core, not interfering with any furniture, nice and slowly bring your legs all the way back down to the ground. And then finally, our Matsyasana or fish pose. So once again, because today we're focusing on strength and core strength, we're not going to use any aids. So coming up onto the top of your head and onto your forearms, pushing up the chest and into your fish pose. You can also bend your knees for an added kind of back bend actually. And breathing. Nice deep breaths again. We're going to spend about 3 to 4 deep breaths here. Puffing your chest up as much as you can. Weight on the top of your head and on your forearms, and obviously also on your legs. Nice deep breaths. And as you're coming out of it, tucking your chin into your chest. Very gently bring the spine back down towards the ground. And then again, bending the knees. And you can just stay here with your knees bent and just massaging your lower back as you rock from side to side. Or if you're up for it, we're going to do one last vinyasa before we go into our shavasana. So if you are, you can cross your shins and take hold of your feet. And then inhale, rock back. Exhale, rock forward all the way to seated. You can roll forward from there into your four-legged position, or very not much as gracefully come forward and bring your legs back. Inhale, coming into plank. Exhale, very slowly lowering yourself all the way down, elbows staying close to your body. And then inhale, opening the chest, rolling up. Exhale, coming back down, and then coming onto your knees, and then pushing up with the feet into your downward dog. Last one of the day. Last one maybe of the week, maybe not. Nice deep breaths. So really using this as the last opportunity to stretch all of your limbs out. And as you exhale, coming onto the knees and rolling back into your seated position and rolling all the way down to the floor. And before you do so, maybe making yourself comfortable, so putting back your socks on or putting a jumper on or using a blanket or a pillow or anything that you need to make the next 10 minutes as luxurious as possible for yourself. Excellent. So then coming back down and really opening up your hips as you bring your body back down to the floor. Opening up your hips, opening up your chest, bringing your feet out to the sides and hands out to the sides, palms facing up. And allowing yourself to get as comfortable as possible on the floor. And then letting go of any way in which you're breathing, letting go of the breathing part of the practice, allowing your breath to return back to its normal pace. And just watching what that pace might be. Your breath is long or short, deep or shallow, it doesn't really matter. It's just an observation. And then releasing the practice and scanning your body from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. So releasing any tension in the top of your head, in your forehead, in your eyes, in your ears, and even in your nose. Releasing any tension in your mouth, your tongue, and your jaw, so that maybe your mouth is slightly open. Releasing any tension in the neck and in the throat. And just making sure actually that your jaw isn't clenched, so really allowing your jaw to relax so that all of the muscles of your neck and throat can also relax. And releasing any tension in your collarbones and in your shoulders. And down your arms, your elbows, your wrists, and your fingers. And releasing any tension in the top of your spine. And all the way down your spine, just allowing your whole back to relax into the ground. And releasing any tension in your chest and in your abdomen and in your hips and thighs. Releasing any tension in your buttocks and down the back of your legs, back of your knees, in the front of your knees, and in your calves, in your shins, and in your ankles, and finally your toes. And then just again in your own time, scanning your body from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. Just releasing any tension, allowing your whole body to relax into the floor. And then bring your awareness to all the points of contact between your body and the floor. And that feeling of your weight of your body on the floor. And at the exact same time, the floor pushing back at you and supporting you as you rest on the floor. So bringing your focus on this connection. And then imagining, if you will, your body as it lies on the surface of the earth. And the scale at which your body and the rest of the body beneath you compares. And feeling the connection to the bigger part beneath you. And releasing this practice, and for the next few minutes, just allowing your body and your mind to completely relax and release into the floor. So for the next few minutes, there's nowhere to go, nothing to do, nobody needs you. You can just allow your mind to drift to where it wants to go, and allow your body to drift as it's relaxed on the ground. gently bring your awareness back to your breath. Again, just noticing your breathing. Noticing as the air comes in and out of your lungs. Noticing as your belly rises and falls. Noticing the sensation of the air coming in and out of your body. And we're starting to take some more deliberate inhale, exhale. Bringing more breath into the body. And gently bringing your awareness to the outline of your body on the floor. And again, bringing that breath and body back together. Filling the whole outline of the shape of your body on the floor with the breath as you inhale. And tracing its outline again as you exhale. And then feeling your whole body more as a three-dimensional thing. So feeling out the shape and the weight, the earthiness of your body. And slowly bringing a little bit of movement back to your toes and to your fingers. Starting to connect that intention with movement. And then bringing the movement back to your wrists and to your ankles. And then bring the feet together and the hands together up and over your head, having a big morning stretch, bringing that movement all the way from the tips of your fingers down to your toes and moving your whole body. And keeping your eyes closed, gently bringing your knees into your chest and giving yourself a big hug as you do so. And like we did before, just very gently starting to rock from side to side. And when you're ready and keeping your eyes closed, rocking yourself over to your right side and using your arm or your hand as a pillow, just allowing yourself again to melt into the floor. And again, keeping your eyes closed for now. Slowly pushing yourself back up to a comfortably seated position. And just beginning to grow into the space above your head, relaxing the rest of your body down. And just taking a moment with your eyes closed in your comfortably seated position. So just give yourself a little bit of gratitude for having taken an hour out of your day. Even maybe when things are quite busy and quite hectic. There's this Zen saying that if you're in need of meditation for 20 minutes every day, but if you're very, very busy, then you need to meditate for at least an hour. I think sometimes the biggest obstacle is just to get yourself on the yoga mat. And then the rest is irrelevant. So just taking that moment of time with yourself. And grounding into the earth beneath you. And then when you're ready, slowly starting to open your eyes, becoming aware again of where you are and who you are. Thank you very much. Namaste.